What's up, family? How y'all doing today? Got a quick message for y'all. So, there's times during our spiritual journey where, you know, may find ourselves alone and, you know, things are changing and transforming in our lives, and it just seems like a lot of things are falling away, you know, like people we used to hang with and things we used to do just don't resonate with us anymore. So, it just leaves us feeling like we're alone. Like a lot of people call this phase an isolation period, and there's like two reasons of why you might be in that isolation period. The first reason maybe because just like naturally things are just not aligning with you anymore, and it's just natural for you to distance yourself from those people, places, and things. And like once you do that, you're by yourself. And then the second reason, maybe because, you know, God, the universe, or source had forced you into a period of isolation. So it might have been like things in your life that like been forcibly ripped away from you because, you might have been on the wrong path for like a long period of time. So, things may like be forcibly taken away from you in a way that may seem painful and like dramatic and stuff. All you need to know is that you're in a period of transition and like transformation, and new things are about to come into your life. It's like during this period, there's certain things you shouldn't do because, you're trying to make room for new in your life. So I'm going to give you three things that you should avoid doing during this isolation period. The first thing you should avoid doing is remaining idle. Like if there was things you wanted to do or changes you wanted to make in your life, like now in your isolation period would be the time to do those things because you don't have other influences and people around you pulling you away from the things that you want to do. And it's like the changes that you wanted to bring in for yourself, they have a greater potential of being manifested because you have the energy, like your energy is not being pulled in different directions. You have the energy and the focus and the time to focus your energy in that area of where you want to make those changes. So like remaining idle could really run you the risk of missing out on any future opportunities that you may have just by staying stuck in your old habits and your old way of doing things. Like in your period of isolation, you should be like building your stamina up for the next chapter in your life because it's going to require different things of you, and it's going to require you to see things in a different way. And God, universe, or source is really putting you in that position so you could sit down and really analyze and see what it is not really working. And like when you sit down, you'll start to see why like it was the best thing that could happen for you to be in this isolation period, because you'll realize that certain things might have been holding you back, and just the way you were acting or the way you were thinking about things. Like, so second thing that you should avoid doing is remaining stuck in the past. Your isolation period is really a time where you're supposed to reflect and like go inward and start looking at things that happen to you and how certain things may have affected you and caused you to have certain actions that may have brought you different type of results, whether that's good or bad. Like it's really a time to start releasing any emotional baggage that may keep you stuck in a certain pattern of thinking. Like things that are keeping you stuck in the past, like things you can't get over, is really not going to fly in your new timeline. It's like you're going to have to release those things. If you have like a fear of hopping into relationships because of what happened in the past, but in your new timeline you're supposed to meet certain people and have these relationships. It's like that's not going to align, and it's not going to be really helpful to you, and it's going to keep you stuck in a place of just stagnation. You might even start running back to those old people, places, and things that, that made you feel comfortable, because that's just what you trained yourself to accept. Like, so it's important to, come to terms with the past and just accept that what happened to teach you something. It happened so you could be wiser on this next phase in your life. So it's like anything, any type of connection, any type of person, places, or things that you built in a period where, you were feeling that way, like, they're not going to be able to come along with you into the next seasons, because this is going to help. This is going to make you revert back to your old ways. So just releasing the past and coming to terms with the past is extremely important during these periods. Like, you're into a season where you're about to experience new. So, like, the past and new experiences, they don't really go together, you know what I'm saying? So it has to be, you have to make room for these new things to come in. And the last thing you should avoid doing is being impatient with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're in your isolation period, it's important that you take your time. Don't rush. Don't hop into any type of situation because you're afraid to be alone. Don't, surround yourself with the old people because you're afraid to be alone. Like, if something, like, like, their isolation period is for you to come back within alignment within yourself. Really a time for you to trust your inner guidance and what God is telling you to do, and like where God is trying to direct you. So making decisions out of fear could really, you know, influence you in a negative way and just like cause you to, you know, just do actions that are not in alignment with where you're supposed to go. It's like there's a time and a place for everything. So when you're in your period of isolation, it's not really the time to really rush into anything. It's the time to really sit with yourself and really build that trust within yourself so you can, be prepared for the next season of your life. And it's like if the opinions of others are clouding your judgment of, thinking, you need to be at a certain place or at a certain stage, or you're doing that to yourself, it's like that's a clear sign that you just need to take some time out, center yourself, and really just tap in with yourself and then get into your internal guidance system. A lot of times you can't really see the reason why you need to be in isolation period. So, that's the perfect time to really tap in with yourself and God so you can gain the wisdom. So you don't really need to be out here making decisions out of fear, especially if you haven't really healed yet. So, those are the three things you should avoid doing in your isolation period. I hope this helped. All right, peace.